Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slamming the face, and an instrumental was the last time that I ate food from all of the bass. My A-spoon going, big son told me about the game. 20 years later, know my name. King, crown me, lounge in the back of the spot. Pay homage to an underground peasant, climb to the top. Funny styles on elevators could never fade us. I peep data stain anytime they congratulate us. Goggles is worn and bottles is popping. I'm beyond Sanders on haters, this ice bucket dropping over their head with it. Extra the cred with it. You either fight or flight, I ain't one for the...
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. McPherson has this one teed up, and off we go from Tampa. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First play, first pass for Brady. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play there on the first play of the game. 61 yards. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed they went right into the game plan, attack them early, see if they're going to play any better, and if not, you keep the pressure on them until things change.
They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw, it's Brady. Connecting with Kohler on the out route. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
Fournette. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
On 2nd and goal, Brady. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Brady now on 3rd and goal. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll go with a big bank for it. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bucs' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point up and good by Succop. And that makes the score 7-0. It's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Ready?
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Here we go.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
This goes out wide for Mixon. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Again, it's Burrow. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. Jamar Chase, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. To throw on 2nd and 10. Brady. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards that time for number 14. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Up the gun, Fournette. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry. The Buccaneers sit 7-6, a game over 500 on the year. And they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak. And right now, they're not playing their best football. But if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
Hey, ball 66.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Meanwhile, Brady's throw on target to Godwin here. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes his fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. On 2nd and 2, Brady. And that'll be caught by Darden. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. At that time, they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
To him back at the 40. There for the sack, B.J. Hill.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
7-7, our score after 1. They're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Brady now to throw. And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Brady. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. So Brady departs, and on is Ryan Succop for the Buccaneer field goal. Kicking into a headwind here in the 2nd quarter. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. So a long drive, 11 plays all told, but in the end, they come away with nothing.
And what can you do from an offensive standpoint except pat your kicker on the head and say, get them next time?
The Bengals drive about to get going as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
From the 36, Burrow. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Extra point try now for Succop. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They begin with a run by Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Here we go. Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey,
Shaquille Barrett, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together. That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now we're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call through the offensive coordinator. You like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Third and 2, now Burrow. And he's got Hurst, his tight end. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 16. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive.
They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked off by Jamel Dean. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. So a big return there, Charles, on what was a pretty dangerous throw to the outside.
It sure was, Brandon. That's the risk you run on a throw like this. If it's intercepted, a lot of times this is a pick 6. So good hustle to get back and get him down. But, boy, that's a throw you've really got to be sure of if you're going to work the perimeter of the field.
So after the INT, it's Brady. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
I don't know about you, but if I'm the offensive line coach right now, I'm having an absolute fit. This team that they're going against has 3 sacks, yet they rank dead last in the league in sacks coming into this game.
Maybe overlooked them a little bit?
Could be. I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if they've just gotten fortunate along the way. I have no real great answer for it, but we're seeing something you don't often see.
The throw on second down by Brady is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Brady to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
He decided to run after catch, but it worked really well.
Succop's kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now. 17-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were...
Now Burrow loses the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point put through by Suckup. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
On one, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
11-90.
To throw again on second down. Burrow. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Shaquille Barrett. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
It's almost closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
11 MT, hey. 11.
They'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And taken at the 46. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. The game clock sitting at 2:02, so they'll get 1 play before the 2-minute warning. Throwing on first down is Brady. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Throwing again on second down. Brady got his target. That's Kohler. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. This This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing.
And now ball going to be intercepted yet again. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point up and good by Succop. And the rout is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone.
To the 42-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Brady now on first down. Over the middle, connecting with Kohler. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Maneuver his way down to about the 7. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. To throw is Brady.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Succop's kick is good. And with that last field goal, that puts him now at 300 made on his career, and that is something to celebrate.
And that puts him in the top 30 all time. So he's really made a mark, and he's got plenty of life left in that leg, that's for sure.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just 1 play.
Room here to run. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Bengals with work to do in this third quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Bengals drive about to get going.
The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Finding room at midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball. He could not hang on. Second down coming up.
Here we go. 11 MT, 11 MT. 12.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Gets this to Campbell out on the right side. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
It's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Got an open man. That's Campbell. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, next-gen stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Across the line and to the ball quickly there, Trey Hendrickson.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15.
Fakes the give to Fournette. Now Brady.
That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 44-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Inside handoff now to Fournette. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Brady going to throw. Toward the pylon, caught. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Charlie Kohler, a 9-yard touchdown grab, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Suck up for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.